The Maple Grove Planning Commission is recommending approval of a large apartment building for people 55 and older, but that approval doesn't come without some frustration.
I feel we have enough 55 plus living here, and a full continuum of care environment is definitely something that brings jobs to our city. It's something that residents like myself look for my aging parents. I'd like to have them in one space and be able to move them through instead of move and move and move. This is kind of disappointing for me to see yet another apartment building of 55 plus.
The project calls for a 4-story, 124-unit senior living building in the Village at Arbor Lakes area. The developer, Eden Prairie-based The Doran Group, removed assisted living from the project, citing challenges in finding enough labor. The company also blamed recent changes in Minnesota code.
The Minnesota code changed to basically disallow the ability for you to age in place in your units because they require that assisted living units have a different construction typology than your traditional independent living units may in the sort of broader marketplace. So something that you might have built, let's say in 2019 or 2020, is almost impossible to build today on a site of this size.
The Planning Commission did recommend approval by a 5-to-1 vote. The Maple Grove City Council will have the final say. With International Assistance Dog Week coming up on August 4th, New Hope's Can Do Canines is reminding everyone that service dogs are on the clock.
A good rule of thumb is to just note that if the dog is in cape, that probably means it's a working dog, and we shouldn't distract it. We shouldn't try to pet the dog.
According to Can Do Canines, people often assume they can pet a service dog. Training manager Shenna Lemke says you should treat service dogs like any other medical device you see in public.
That dog could be working with somebody who has a disability that might not be visible, so diabetes or epilepsy. And if we distract the dog by petting it or even smiling or waving at it, then we're really distracting the dog from doing its alert work with that person.
Can Do Canines is a nonprofit that provides service dogs to people with disabilities. Fans of rock climbing could soon have a new indoor spot in Plymouth. Bouldering Company Incorporated plans to build an indoor climbing gym in a building near Interstate 494 and Carlson Parkway. Rather than using high walls and ropes, the owner says bouldering is rock climbing in its simplest form.
It's rock climbing like you've seen without ropes. So there's a limit to the height, but all of these walls they're all vertical. They have different levels of degrees of angulation. So some I think as extreme as maybe 45 degrees.
The highest climbing walls in the new bouldering gym would be about 16 feet off the ground. The women's gym in New Hope is designed to empower with a generous helping of cake. Here is Emily Haugen.
A plan is we're going to do some band work to start.
When you hear cake, you might think of a celebration. Or, like at Cake Body Club,
Make sure that you have tension in your butt.
the rear end benefits after a good workout.
This brings out so much passion in me.
Danny Medine's passion is at home in New Hope.
Exhale, pull through, squeeze.
Danny wants her clients to see the perks of both.
Having a healthy relationship with food and your body is what makes this place come together.
You might notice the heavy female presence at Cake. That's no accident.
Not to knock on some other big box gyms, but they're scary for people. Women of all sizes were intimidated.
Cake shifts to fitness for women. It's a unique blend offering classes and pole fitness to build core strength.
I basically like to say I'm the modern day curves for like a slightly younger demographic or the older demographic that just can't really find a fun place to work out.
Danny hopes the women she works with feel empowered.
I just love her energy.
One lap around a Wednesday afternoon class tells you they do.
She's always there to support me and talk through anything and everything, so it's awesome.
I joke that I don't ever look at my watch to hope class is over, and I come back often. I'm here almost 4 days a week now.
The girls are united by motivation,
Hit it.
cake,
Good.
and Danny.
I hope that this comes out of here and it actually does spread into the real world. Now drop your butt, drop your butt, drop your butt.
Because she's got their back and their backside.
Fans of soul food now have a new place where they can go in Brooklyn Park, but to simply call Plush a restaurant wouldn't be doing it justice. This weekend, I take you inside one of the Northwest Metro's newest hangout spots. If you're looking for good music, good vibes, and fancy cocktails.
This is the Plush Kisses.
You'd normally have to go downtown to experience that kind of atmosphere.
Nothing in the Twin Cities, anywhere in this area that has anything like this.
But Anthony Thomas wanted to change that.
The food is good, the ambiance is good, the vibe is good, we love it.
Thomas is the owner of Plush, a soul food restaurant that opened in a Brooklyn Park strip mall last March.
When you look at it, it just really takes your breath away.
Where the inside looks nothing like the outside.
A lot of restaurants down south have this type of vibe where you come in, from the outside doesn't look like much, you come inside and you're like, whoa, it's different.
Everything just came together real classy and nice.
Thomas and his wife Melinda spent the better part of a year remodeling this place to give it a plush look.
Purple and gold represents royal. You know, we want everybody to feel royal when they come in here.
Melinda Thomas came up with the idea for the furniture, the tiles, and the chandeliers, all designed to create an atmosphere that makes people say, wow.
When they walk through this door, I want them to give the reaction that you gave. Wow.
Wow is also the reaction they want from people about the food.
Help me with the lamb chops and the fried catfish.
The menu consists of items like dirty rice, candied yams, fried catfish, and lamb chops.
Soul food needed to be in Brooklyn Park.
Essentially, it's food designed to fill your belly and soothe your soul. Pair the food with a craft cocktail.
The thing that I wanted to bring to this menu was a lot of fresh ingredients.
And you have a business that proves you don't have to go downtown to enjoy a night out.
For it to be in Brooklyn Park and not downtown, people love it. You don't have to pay for parking. You don't have to deal with the traffic downtown. You don't have to deal with all the extra stuff downtown. So they love coming out here. They say, hey, it's worth the trip.
In less than a month, we will be inducting 4 new members into the CCX Athletic Hall of Fame. Leading up to Labor Day weekend, we are spotlighting the 4 2023 inductees, including Osseo's Bridge Tusler. Here's Jay Wilcox.
He was a star in 2 high-profile sports in a great era at his school. 2013 Osseo graduate Bridge Tusler joins our CCX Sports Hall of Fame.
Truly amazed, really blessed. To be honest, it's an honor. I still think about back in the day playing and being able to even just almost hang out with you guys during these conversations. And so, yeah, it's kind of all surreal a little bit, but a truly exciting time.
Tusler has loads of accomplishments in both football and basketball. His senior football season is one of the most impressive in the past 25 years in the area. Primarily a running back, the versatile Tusler was also a great receiver, returner, and D-back. He had 21 touchdowns in all, rushing for nearly 1,200 yards and also intercepting 8 passes. That earned him a slew of awards, including Mr. Football, AP Player of the Year, and Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year.
It was a blessing for sure. I wouldn't have done it without this cliche, but it's not for me. Without the team, players, the coaches, I felt like Lampker set me up a lot to be very successful. But at the same time, it wasn't in jeopardy to our team.
Bridge was also a great basketball player, twice earning all-area status on Channel 12, as CCX was then known. And in his junior season, he helped Osseo to a thrilling state tournament run that ended in him assisting on a buzzer beater for teammate Ian Tyson that won the Orioles the Class 4A title.
We needed a bucket. We called a timeout. Time was winding down. We ran a play. Credit Lakeville North. They changed the defense, but the ball was in Bridges' hands. And he adapted, adjusted, and made the right decision by hitting Ian Tyson in the corner. Next thing you know, Osseo's a state champion.
That was very exciting. Yeah, probably one of the most memorable moments I have ever in my life. I remember sometime around Christmas time, I was frustrated. I think Tyson was coaching me hard. I really wasn't enjoying it that much. I felt like I could never do something right. And then we started having a lot of success, and we got into the state tournament, we won. And I remember seeing Tyson 3-4 days later, and he was like, isn't that fun? And I was like, oh yeah, this is what hard work feels like.
While his physical talents were plain to see, others remember his presence more than his skill.
His Bridge was such a leader in the hallways, in the classroom, on the field, on the court. Anywhere that he stepped, people just followed him. Just to watch the way he did things on and off the field was really cool to see, and just see the things that he brought to our school besides athleticism.
And he's not the fastest, he's not the best shooter, he's not the tallest, but he had that grit. And with that, that's that football side of him that I thought he brought over to the basketball side. is he didn't back down to anybody. So Bridge, not only was he that leader, but he was that ultimate warrior.
After heading to South Dakota State for a year to play football, Tusler decided it wasn't for him and transferred back to his home area to play football and basketball at Bethel.
I kind of said no to a lot of any looks about basketball. I just thought I'm better at football. This is going to be my ticket. And so I got to experience getting hit what it was like right away as an 18-year-old going against 22-year-olds. And I'll be honest, it wasn't really for me. I was going to open gyms a lot for basketball. I could just tell I was missing that part.
Tusler followed in the footsteps of his mother, Brandy, as a basketball star at Osseo and has a lot of pride in his old school. So the fact that he is now married to a former Maple Grove basketball standout, the former Angie Davison, made for some interesting debate.
I can't speak for her parents. I can speak for my mom. When I said I'm dating Angie Davison, my mom's like, no way, kind of thing, because I told my mom I wanted to marry her in 5th grade.
Since that story first aired, Bridge, just a couple of months ago, was named the head boys basketball coach at Delano High School. That's all for sports. More CCX News after this.